Come on, NJ. I texted you about half an hour ago. Where are you for this Hardcore Justice preview, dude? Oh, I still can't believe Terminator NJ has got a Twitter and a fucking Facebook fan page now. This is ridiculous. TN Asylum as well. Oh, that's our review. That's awesome. That looks freaking. I love that. I love that. That's brilliant. Oh. Right, NJ, shit, how are you doing, brother?
A little bit late, but I was ready to do this.
Oh, let's get ready to do the preview then. Do you want to get positioned? As usual. Welcome back, YouTubers, to our TNA Hardcore Justice preview with none other than us, the British Fist.
Gotcha.
Subscribe up above, like this video, and comment any thoughts you have on going into this preview down in the comment section below.
And make sure you contact us in the link in the description box below.
I am Mr. Parkin. This guy sitting next to me. You guys know who he is. It's none other than NJ.
What's up?
Indeed. So, Hardcore Justice, NJ. Going into this pay-per-view, I think it's fair to say that the Aces and Eights angle has been the biggest angle for TNA for some time now, and it's kind of maybe a tad overshadowed this pay-per-view a little bit, even though I'm still looking forward to it. It's maybe overshadowed it a tad, would you say?
Well, I think with the way they're going to be doing these matches and the wrestlers involved in these matches, I think they may use the Aces and Eights to progress a bigger storyline and use big matches to make big impacts. In a way, I'm fine with this, even though hopefully they won't get involved in every match. That way, we still get the importance of these matches as well as them get involved to make bigger angles.
Yeah, I mean, we've got a good main event lined up, a rematch from Destination X. We've got 3 Bound for Glory series matches, which we'll talk about in a second. We've got sort of 3 undercard fill between the time kind of matches as well. So the card looks okay. It's not brilliant, but we've still got a nice main event and some decent to good matches in there, which I'm looking forward to. So I'm quite excited for Hardcore Justice.
This pay-per-view is looking quite good.
And plus, unlike last year, they're actually playing to the gimmick of Hardcore Justice because we have 3 hardcore Bound for Glory series matches in there. Thank fucking God for that.
Something to look forward to, indeed.
Indeed. We'll go to the first match, which is Zima Ion versus Kenny King for the TNA X Division Championship. We saw them have a match on Free TV, which was quite good. I think Kenny King was one of the X Division guys that definitely stood out for me, and I'm glad he's getting this shot, even though I feel Zima Ion will definitely win.
Well, I'm looking at this now, and we've seen some great performances from Kenny King and Ion, and the fact that this is a match now where we probably won't get the interference. We had Rude one time, Kenny King pinning on the Go Home show, and now we're going to be getting this match. And I'm thinking, definitely what we want to see. It should be a great match between these two.
Give it some time. These guys can definitely tear the house down, whether it is in the opener or above the card. We don't really know, but I do expect Zima Ion to win, mainly because this whole Jesse Sorensen Zima Ion storyline seems to be the bigger picture, so you kind of expect Zima Ion to beat a guy like Kenny King, even though I do feel Kenny King is a future X Division champion, in my opinion.
Well, with Kenny King being new, I still think they're going to warm him up, have him face some other feuds, other wrestlers to build him up more, even though he has impressed us quite rapidly and fast. I do think Ion is going to get the win to build up a bigger feud that's been teased in the past.
Indeed, building to the bigger storyline, essentially, a bigger pay-per-view possibly. Miss Tetchmarker versus Madison Rayne for the TNA Knockouts Championship.
Yeah.
This feud this match is pretty much revolving around Earl Hebner as referee. You have Madison Rayne kissing up to Earl Hebner, getting the victories which he shouldn't have done. So this whole angle is pretty much about will Earl Hebner screw Miss Tetchmarker, and I fucking well hope he doesn't, because I think Miss Tetchmarker should definitely retain her championship here, because I think Tetchmarker needs a long title reign to establish herself, and this should definitely not be one of those blocks, in my opinion. She should definitely win, despite Earl Hebner being the referee, possibly, even though it would make much more sense to not have him as the ref.
I have a feeling they're going to use Earl Hebner as the referee to obviously make us believe that Tess is going to lose. But when I looked at this match, I thought they were going to do Mickie James or Tess's tag partner, you know.
Further on down the line, possibly.
That could have been a way. I thought now and then building up to Bound for Glory, where they have the bigger match, but they're going with this match instead. Madison Rayne using the referee to get what she wants. Well, it's not like she's going to win any other way, but this match should be okay, but I just don't really care about it. Madison
Rayne sucks. I don't like her one bit. These two could maybe have an okay match, but I think both of these girls are the kind of women that need someone like a Mickie James or a Gail Kim or a Tara to carry them in the ring, so it'll be interesting to see whether these two can really put on a good match. I'm not sure they will, but Tetchmarker should definitely go over here, in my opinion. She needs that long title reign as the babyface champion.
It'd be really stupid if they swapped the belt over, especially when Tess is a younger one that's losing good recently, and losing to Madison Rayne of all knockouts is not looking good for her.
That would be... And if Earl Hebner... Because Earl Hebner doesn't screw anyone, ladies and gentlemen. Not 1997 Montreal Screwjob or anything like that, or all the rehashes they've done. Anyway, Chavo Guerrero and Hernandez versus Gunner and Kid Cash. I do wonder if they are going to think of a tag team name for these guys rather than Mexican America version 2.
And the thing like this, I would have maybe had this as a normal contendership match. Yes, they're just being bunged together just to give Chavo a good direction, but at the same time, they could have made this still a normal contender just because they rushed a little bit maybe to get this going, but I think they didn't deserve a direction like that because we had a random tag team title match on the Go-Home show, so why not make this a normal contender?
It does seem like TNA are trying to mould Chavo and Hernandez into future possible tag team champions, which would make sense because Chavo Guerrero is a name, not a big enough name to go after main titles, but a guy that can play a role in a tag team division. So Chavo and Hernandez, in my opinion, should go over here to establish them as a new sort of Mexican tag team to go after the tag champs, maybe.
As much as I see Gunner should be in a better place than where he's at now, Kid Cash, I think he's the person to put people over. I do definitely see Chavo Guerrero picking up the win here to progress his debut and wins towards something bigger.
Yep, I think the same thing. Chavo and Hernandez should definitely go over here. First of our Bound for Glory series matches, D'Angelo Tenero, the Pope, versus Magnus versus Mr. Anderson versus Rob Van Dam in the first of 3 fatal 4-way matches. This one is a Falls Count Anywhere for 20 points in the Bound for Glory series. Who do you see winning this?
Well, first let me cut it down a bit. Pope, we've not really seen do much. His return, he's only had 1 match since his return. Then we have Magnus, who lost to Rob Van Dam, which is what we all predicted. Mr. Anderson, again, we've seen him put on some good matches, so I wouldn't be surprised if Anderson somehow picks up the win here. Rob Van Dam, obviously you would predict him to win because he doesn't really put people over, so I'm going to say Anderson.
Rob Van Dam doesn't put anyone over. He probably won't do the job here, which is essentially what will probably happen. I don't think Pope should get the win. He's too far down. They might as well just forget about Pope now as much as I like Pope. It's either Magnus or Mr. Anderson for me. One of those two should win. Definitely not Rob Van Dam. No point in giving Rob Van Dam the win here, really. Should be a decent 4-way. I think the one big question we have here is 3 4-ways a bit overkill on the pay-per-view? Possibly. Will it be a little bit repetitive? I don't know.
I'll say no, because the 8 and 8 are going to be involved in this. They're going to have quite a few segments which will fill up more time. So I think the way to combine 8 and 8 as well as these matches is to combine more wrestlers into one match. Possibly. So in a way, I think this is going to go pretty well.
So Magnus or Mr. Anderson?
Anderson.
I'll go for Magnus just to be different. In the second of our Bound for Glory series matches, this is probably the segment where most likely the 8s and 8s are going to get involved, as it was the main event of the Go-Home show. James Storm versus Bully Ray versus Jeff Hardy versus Robbie E. This is a tables match for 20 points in the Bound for Glory series standings. The Aces and 8s said that they were going to attack Bully, basically go after Bully Ray, so you've got to imagine the Aces and 8s will come out, maybe sabotage this match, possibly, would you say?
Someone's going to be very happy about this match, but...
Who?
We've hired someone to be a part of this, but what I'll say is that with this cancelled down again, James Storm, he's already at the top, so he doesn't need the win, but they are going to try and make him look good. Bully Ray's going to get attacked, so I don't think he'll get the win. Jeff Hardy and Robert E will be battling out, so I'm going to say James Storm.
I reckon the Aces and 8s will come out and put Bully Ray through a table or something, and the match will have no one win it, maybe. Robbie E definitely won't win. Jeff Hardy, possibly. I'm not really sure what's going to happen, because I know the Aces and 8s are going to get involved, but I don't know how it's going to affect the outcome. It should be, I guess, interesting, the angle advancement here with the Aces and 8s and Bully Ray, so they're trying to make James Storm seems like he's the culprit of the Aces and 8s, so they'll probably do a little bit more. They must do it on the pay-per-view, because they've done it on the TV show, so they have to do something on the pay-per-view to establish this.
And to make their big debut, big attack, being part of a pay-per-view will definitely do it, and this is one match that's going to stand out for this pay-per-view.
It definitely will. In the third of 3 Bound for Glory series matches, this has got a lot of fans talking, isn't it? AJ Styles versus Christopher Daniels versus Samoa Joe versus Kurt Angle in a ladder match for 20 points. This is one of those matches where, apart from probably Daniels, any of the 4 guys could really win. These guys have put on matches, good matches with each other in various different forms. And as you'd expect these 4 guys in a 4-way to put on a very good match, really, on this pay-per-view, wouldn't you? Well,
I look at this, and we have great wrestlers who put on great matches before. We have AJ and Daniels who put on many great matches, even though it's been repetitive. We've had Joe and Angle, which put great matches in the past as well. So they've got the right wrestlers in this match. cancel it down. AJ and Daniels have wrapped up a feud.
Yeah.
So Joe and Angle, it's out those
One of
two.
those two.
And I would love to see Joe get the win just because he's been making a dominant force. He's at the top as well. So I would like to see probably him get the win here.
I'd love to see Samoa Joe win the series. Judging by that promo we did on Impact Wrestling, I mean, I'd love to see Joe win it. Either Joe or Angle will win simply because AJ and Daniels, this will be done more to further their storyline, which will probably end up Bound for Glory, in my opinion. So AJ Styles and Daniels won't be winning this match. It'll be Joe or Kurt Angle. It's a ladder match, so I expect to see plenty of ladder spots. That's all I would say.
If we go down the ladder match, you can't really see Joe doing it, so maybe they would give it to Angle. But I'm still saying Joe just because I think he really should get this. But the fact it's a ladder, it could swerve it to Angle.
I do wonder what they're going to have to collect at the top. What is it, a contract with 20 points or something? Don't really know. Maybe money? I don't know what they're going to do, but there we go. 20 points will be available to the winner. And then we get to our main event. Austin Aries versus Bobby Roode in a singles match for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. If Austin Aries loses, he will not get a rematch. Same goes for Bobby Roode as well. So pretty much whoever loses this won't get another title shot unless someone else is the champion. On the go-home show, you didn't really get the feeling this was a main event match, really, because the whole thing with Aces and Eights kind of dominated the show. But if these guys put on as good of a match as they did at Destination X, won't really matter, will it? Because this should be another good match between these two.
I think it's going to be another great match just because you have Roode, who's obviously going to do whatever he can to beat Aries. And you have Aries building his character up as the champion. But I think the fact that with the stipulation in, I think this is going to be Aries' way to keep him as the champion.
Possibly.
To keep, even though I do want to see Roode and Storm for the championship, but I think Aries should retain just so it doesn't go to the possibility that Storm's going to win the Bound for Glory series.
Indeed, and it'll be interesting to see who they have win here. Will they think to themselves, right, I need to give that belt back to Bobby Roode so we can have Bobby Roode versus James Storm at Bound for Glory? Or will they have Aries get the victory so we can have maybe two big matches at the pay-per-view? I think this is a pivotal time, really, because it's really, whoever wins this is definitely going to be your champion going into Bound for Glory, in my opinion. So, I mean, I'd love to see Aries win. It's just a shame, in my opinion, that he hasn't been a focal point of the show since he's won his belt, but he's still in the main event of the pay-per-view.
Well, let's say if Aries wins this, yes, because I don't want Roode to win. As much as I like him, if Roode wins, the focus on Bound for Glory, the rest of it would probably be on Storm, so they could build up to that match. Yeah. But I'm probably going to say Aries just because I think Aries could do so much more going for Bound for Glory and give us, like Dan said, two big matches. So Aries all the way.
And you don't really want Aries just having a 5-week title reign. You really want to establish this guy as a legit champion. And like I said, that way you can have Bobby Roode and James Storm in a grudge match at Bound for Glory. And you could also have Austin Aries versus the winner of the BFG series, maybe a Samoa Joe, a Kurt Angle, which could be a second big match on that pay-per-view. So, in my opinion, Aries definitely should retain. Whether or not he will, I don't know. You give us your opinions who you think could retain, who you think could walk out of Hardcore Justice with the belt. So this could be a good pay-per-view. I mean, we've got 3 hardcore matches in there, a very good main event, a nice X Division match that we probably both want to see. There's a little bit of filler in there, and we're probably going to see some Aces and Eights stuff. So this has got a lot of stuff that I'm quite looking forward to seeing this pay-per-view.
This pay-per-view is definitely adding up to something that I think TNA fans would like. Yes, there's a chance they could disappoint us, but I think with the action they've got in this, the big matches, the outcome, the Ace and Eight, the future, I think there's so much relying on this pay-per-view to come out looking good. Yeah,
indeed. So you give us your thoughts. Give us your thoughts on the pay-per-view down in the comment section below. I still can't believe Terminator NJ has got a Twitter at Terminator NJ and a Facebook fan page. It's just ridiculous, isn't it?
Definitely wants people to know what's going on, what's going to happen.
What I want to know is who's sanctioned this? Because I sure as hell had no say in this. Who the fuck has sanctioned this? But anyway, we don't know. We're not even going to guess. But we'll just say this. Thank you very much for watching this video. Put your comments in the comment section below. I've been Mr. Parkin. This guy sitting next to me has been NJ.
What's up?
And now NJ will give you another lovely outro.
Thank you very much, people. Make sure you have your own hardcore match before the pay-per-view. And from Mr. Parkin and me, NJ, thank you very much. And enjoy the pay-per-view. And goodbye.